Salvation, preservation or deliverance from harm, ruin, or loss. First, I want to say, Call Halal, Wahawa La Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham Rahak Wadash. Double honors to the other apostles at Great Millstone who rule well, who have taught us knowledge. Salutations to you, fellow laborers, also that's doing the work of truth, sincerity. Shalom to you, and shalom to the few Akwaf that believe as well. This is Brother Hardab coming back at you. Excuse me. With another lesson about salvation of Israel. All right, because salvation is only offered and only going to be given to the nation of Israel, which consists of the so-called Negroes, the so-called Latinos or Hispanics, the so-called Native American Indians, by the house of their fathers. Though we are the Israelites according to the Bible. All right. And growing up in these so-called church buildings, you would think that salvation is for everyone because that's what they teach. And they teach you that anyone can be saved when you understand the scriptures, right? When the Holy Spirit is working with you, you understand clearly that salvation is not for everyone. All right. First and foremost, everyone, all right, is not in a situation of experiencing or have experienced great loss. All right, every nation ain't exposed to great harm. Every nation ain't in ruins. All right, like the nation of Israel, because the Lord scattered us. Okay, the Lord scattered us among the heathen. All right, and among these heathen, which are the other nations, we became ruined as a nation. All right, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 44 and 11. It says, "Thou hast given us like sheep appointed for meat, and hast scattered us among the heathen." Right, and among the heathen, all right, we haven't found no ease because these heathen been sorely oppressing us, and pretty much, we lack in everything. All right, we have to go to the heathen for one of all things. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse 69. I'm sorry, I said verse 69. I'm gonna say verse 65. All right, Deuteronomy 28 and 65. It says, "And among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy feet have rest. But Yahweh shall give thee there a trembling heart, a filling of eyes, and sorrow of mind. And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shall have none assurance of thy life." And that's all we have among these heathen, man. All right, we don't have no easy life at all. All right, even the jakes that sell out to be in the entertainment world, whether they're athletes or actors, they have to do a lot of things that go against their, well, they have to do a lot of things that's really against the scriptures, man. Because Esau going to make sure you break the laws, commandments, statutes daily. All right, and then a lot of those Israelites that's into that world, they're not worried about the Most High because Esau gave them riches for getting down with him and doing all kind of satanic worship and men lying with men, women lying with women, all kind of things they into. All right, sacrificing their children unto Molech, and then they still don't have no ease because Esau going to still find a way to destroy them. All right, in the end. Hence, you have guys like Bill Cosby. All right, old as he is, they still throw his ass in jail, showing you what you have no ease. No matter how much you do things to please Esau, you have no ease. All right, Esau gonna make sure he find a way to overthrow you or oppress you in some way. All right, and to make your life miserable. All right, let's go from there to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, and verse 17. It says, "Israel is a scattered sheep. The lions have driven him away. First, the king of Assyria had devoured him, and last, this Nebuchadrezzar, king of Babylon, had broken his bones." That's when us northern tribes was taken out of the land by the Assyrians, and the Babylonians, they took away the southern kingdom. All right. And, of course, as northern tribes, we never returned until our land. We came over here to the lands as North, Central, and South America. All right. Then you had the Southern Kingdom. They returned. All right. But overall, when we was driven out of our land, all right, we was continuously going into captivity. All right, we was continually living in oppression, uh, continually being trodden underfoot by our enemies, because the enemy, the heathen nations, they hate us. All right, as it is this day. All right, they always seeking to devour us up on every side, and that's the reason why Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah is going to ultimately save us and put them to shame. All right. So when I see these so-called mega churches, and they got all these different heathen in there and all that stuff, even though the Lord don't dwell in those temples made with hands, right? But you got Edomites in there, Ishmaelites, all kind of people, Elam, you know, thinking they can be saved because that's a hustle for them, that old prosperity doctrine. All right, that prosperity gospel, prosperity doctrine, whatever you want to call it, But when you know the scriptures for yourself, you know that hey, this is for the nation of Israel only, man. All right. Even when the Samaritan woman, all right, let's get that, because they always like to bring up the Samaritan woman. All right, I'm gonna go to the point, but they always want to bring up the Samaritan woman, and when you go into the account, Yahweh Shah, made it very well clear unto her. You know what I'm saying? Who is salvation for? St. John chapter 4 in verse 15, it says, the woman said unto him, Sir, give me this water, that I thirst not, neither come hither to draw. Yahweh Shah said unto her, Go, call thy husband, and come hither. The woman answered and said, I have no husband. Yahweh Shah said unto her, Thou hast well said, I have no husband, for thou hast had 5 husbands, and he whom thou now hast is not thy husband. And that says thou truly. The woman said unto him, Sir, I perceive that thou art a prophet. Our fathers worship in this mountain, and ye say that in Jerusalem is a place where men ought to worship. Yahweh Shah said unto her, Woman, believe me, the hour cometh when ye shall neither in this mountain nor yet at Jerusalem worship the Father. Ye worship ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews, all right, which are Israelites. All right, so Yahweh Shah clearly told her that, look, you don't know what you worship, all right? We know what we worshiping, for salvation is of the Jews, which are the Israelites. All right, for all you out there that always bring up this good Samaritan woman, Yahweh Shah dissed this lady, as you can clearly see. Told her she don't know what she worshiping. All right, neither in this mountain nor at Jerusalem. All right, only the Israelites was made to serve and to worship Yahweh Shem Shah. All right. You heathen, the Most High and the Son doesn't care about you. And that's something that these so-called pastors refuse to tell the people, because they want the money. All right, they want the money from you. All right, the Most High is not going to save you. His Son ain't going to save you. All right, only ones the Most High and the Son going to save, all right, is the children of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. All right, the elect in the 1/3, man. All right, the elect come out of the 1/3. By the way, all right, that's who the Lord, that's whom the Lord said He's going to deliver. All right, this is Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 1. It says, And it shall come to pass, when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations, whither Yahweh thy power hath driven thee. Excuse me, had driven thee. Yeah, the Lord didn't drive all you nations, into these different lands. He drove his people into these different lands, which is us. All right, our power, drove us into your land. All right, all you heathens' land as a punishment. That's why Baruch said, "How happened in Israel that thou art waxing old in a strange land?" What's a strange land? Any land that's outside of the land of Israel. Verse 2, and shall return unto Yahweh thy power, and shall obey his voice according to all that I command thee this day, thou and thy children, with all thine heart and with all thy soul, that then Yahweh thy power will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all the nations, whither Yahweh Bashem Yahushua thy power hath scattered thee. See? So this is what the Most High told Moses to tell to who? The children of Israel, the sons of Israel. Verse 4, if any of thine be driven out unto the outmost parts of heaven, from thence will Yahweh thy power gather thee, and from thence will he fetch thee. Where we at right now? The outmost parts of heaven. All right, we're on the othermost side of the earth, way far from the land of Israel. But the Lord is going to gather us, and He's going to gather us out of these different lands. All right, He's going to take us back to our land, which is the land of Israel, and that'll be the fulfillment of Isaiah the 14th chapter. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and yet choose Israel, and set them in their land. Excuse me. Excuse me. And that's what the Lord is going to do for us. He's going to do just that. All right. The Lord's word, His word will not return unto Him void. So if He says He's going to save us, that's exactly what He means. All right. He's going to save us. All right. That's why Isaiah 45:17 says what? Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. Ye should not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end. Always going back to Israel, because the Most High remembered what? That promise that He made to who? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right, starting with Abraham. And that's why the Lord always remembered that covenant, because He made the covenant with our forefathers Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And He kept that covenant as it is this day. And He's going to fulfill that covenant, because the Most High is a man that he cannot lie, and He will not lie. Jeremiah 30:10, it says, Therefore fear thou not, O my servant Jacob, saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Neither be dismayed, O Israel, Yasher Allah. For lo, I will save thee. See? For lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. Yeah, North, Central, South America, Europe, Asia, the land of Ham. All right, the different countries in the Middle East where Ishmael got even Jacob into slavery right now, man. We're all still in slavery, man. We haven't been freed and liberated. All right, it says, Therefore fear thou not, O my servant Jacob, saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Neither be dismayed, O Yasher Allah, for lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. And Jacob shall return, and shall be in rest, and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid. When we return unto our land, we ain't have to worry about looking over our shoulders, nobody trying to war with us. We're going to be totally at rest, free from oppression, free from the noise of the enemy. All right, we won't perish no more. We won't be scattered no more. We won't be driven out of our land anymore. which proves we're not in our land, because the people that's in our land right now, they're afraid. That's why they have even missiles in the land of Israel right now, because they're afraid. If the Most High was your power, why would you be afraid? Did not the Most High say he will fight for the children of Israel? Come on, man. Verse 11, it says, "For I am with thee, saith Yahweh, to save thee. Though I make a full end of all nations whither I have scattered thee, yet will I not make a full end of thee." See, the Most High ain't gonna make a full end of us. He just scattered us for a punishment, right? It says, "But I will correct thee in measure and will not leave thee altogether unpunished." Right, because this is our punishment, man. But the point is, he's going to save us, man. All right, Yahweh Shem Shai have always been faithful unto us, man. It's us that haven't been faithful unto Yahweh Shem Shai. All right, and that's the truth, man. All right, you have to be able to admit that, man, because you know, here it is. The Most High didn't change. His Son didn't change. It says that in the book of Malachi. It says the Most High don't change. As a matter of fact, let's get that before I read this. Let's go to Malachi. Malachi 3 and 6, it says, "For I am Yahweh, I change not. Therefore ye sons of Jacob are not consumed." See? So the Most High don't change. All right? Neither does his Son. Let's get that in the book of Hebrews. All right, again, it's us the one that had changed. All right? Hebrews 13 and 8, it says, "Yahweh Shai Mashiach, the same yesterday and today and forever." All right? So the Most High and the Son don't change. We the ones that went a horn after these other gods, which are no gods. All right, which we learn from who? The heathen. All right, and through all that, all right, because the Most High said that we're like a woman, all right, that's going outside her husband. All right. We're the wife of the Most High, the nation of Israel, you know. And when we try to go and serve other gods, we're committing adultery or fornicating against the Heavenly Father spiritually, man. And through all that, the Most High still have mercy on us. He's still going to save us, you know. First Chronicles chapter 16 and verse 34. "Oh, give thanks unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, for he is good, for his mercy endured forever. And say ye, save us, O power of our salvation, and gather us together, and deliver us from the heathen, that we may give thanks to thy holy name, and glory in thy praise. Blessed be excuse me, blessed be Yahweh power of Israel forever and ever." And all the people said amen and praised Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. This is what we're going to do again, man. When the Most High deliver us this time, Lord willing, I'm delivered. All right, Lord willing, I'm part of that, the elect, that number that's written in the book of life. Because this is what we're going to do. Even when the whole nation come back, we are going to praise Yahweh Yahweh Shai, man. Okay? We're going to praise him continually. Because ultimately, he's going to have mercy on us, and we're going to remember how much mercy he shown to us. All right? This is Psalms 53 and verse 6. It says, "Oh, that the salvation of Israel will come out of Zion. When the Most High bringeth back the captivity of his people, Jacob shall rejoice and Israel shall be glad." And this is the way we're going to be every day in the kingdom. All right, we're going to rejoice in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and we're going to be glad because Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is going to save us and deliver us from our enemies. He's going to set us on high above all the nations, which are the heathens. And we're gonna remain in that top spot forever and ever, even forever and ever. All right, because that's going back to the covenant again. All right, Deuteronomy is the second book of the law, which is a part of that covenant. All right, the laws, commandments, statutes. All right, and the judgments. And written within, the Most High said what? He's going to save us, even throughout the Tanakh, even in the Apocrypha, even in the New Testament. Whom the Most High says He's going to save? The children of Israel. Who's the elect? Revelation the 7th chapter. All Israelites. All right. So with that, I'm going to say, Lord willing, you were edified in the spirit. And until next time, I'm going to say Shalom.